Hey, what's up? It's Veil of Huntress and welcome back to my channel. My name is Nita and I'm a psychic healer over here on YouTube, and I do pickacard readings and other spiritual based video topics. Yeah, if you are new here, welcome. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing if this reading resonates with you, and if you have subscribed, don't forget to hit the notification bell so every time I upload you get notified. If you would like to book a personal reading with me as well, you can find all my details down in the description box below. If you'd like to follow me on any of my other social media links, my Insta and my TikTok, that's all down below as well, but my handle is at Veil of Huntress, where I just post other reels that I don't post here on YouTube. If you'd like to be a part of my Patreon as well, that's where I offer exclusive extended readings, moon readings, meditation journeys, and yeah, like a whole bunch of like other stuff that I don't offer anywhere else. Yeah, you can find my Patreon link all in the description box, and today I will also have a extended reading as well, which I'll leave down in the comments. If you'd like to join me over there, you are so very welcome. Thank you for everyone who has been liking, commenting. Feel free to share my videos if you feel anyone will benefit from any of my readings. In today's reading, we're going to be asking the question, are you a seductive tantrika? Do you have any ancient seductive powers? So I'm going to leave this question very open. I don't know what's going to come through, so I'm just being guided by the goddesses that I've invoked to come through with the messages that we need to hear. So I'm just going to be a clear channel for you. So in today's reading, I'm going to be asking the question, are you a seductive tantrika? What are your ancient seductive powers? And I will have the extended link for the reading down in the comments. So let's pretty much jump into this. So I'm going to have three pictures for you to choose from today. If you are drawn to more than one, feel free to listen to them. Great, so we're going to have, this is going to be option number 1 here. Option number 2. And option number 3. So don't forget, if you would like to join me on my Patreon, I offer exclusive extended readings. I do full moon readings and new moon readings and channel through different rituals that you can use in your practice. I also offer journeys which can lead you a lot deeper into, depending on what tier you're on, the journeys can lead you deeper into your practice and connecting with different goddesses. So if you're wanting to get a lot deeper on your spiritual journey and really connecting with the goddesses and opening yourself up more, we talk about things just going deeper into like sexuality, the occult. It's just where I can have no filter, and it's more of a sacred space. Yeah, so if that kind of if that's like calling to you, then just like have a look at the options that I do offer, because I have a like a few different ones, and see which one resonates with you. Great, so let's start off with pile number 1. Are you a seductive tantrika, and what are your ancient seductive powers? So let's jump into this. Okay, pile number 1. So first, I just want to tune into your energy, to pick up on the general energy of you, and then we will go deeper into these seductive ancient gifts or powers that you have. So I'm just going to first tune into your energy, and this way you'll know as well that you picked the right pile, but you'll always pick the right pile anyway. That's what I believe. Okay. So I do have your picture here. That's just all I'm looking at on my phone, if you're wondering. Okay. So Spirit is telling me that the general energy I'm picking up on you is Spirit is telling me that I feel that you've always had to have a really tough exterior, a really strong exterior, because I feel that that's the way that you've felt you've had to go about in life. You've had to really, I feel there's this whole thing about maybe you have this, you're really sensitive and you're very, very caring, but you have this thing where maybe you feel like you can't show this, or you don't like to show a lot of your vulnerability to a lot of people, I feel. And this is because of kind of like this journey that you've been on in your life. It's like you would show more of like, I'm really strong. You know, you are really strong. And it's like I'm hearing like, I'm also hearing no mercy. So perhaps you've felt in connections, there's been a lot of times where you have shown vulnerability and you have got hurt in the past. So I'm really sensing that the way you've got like a massive, you have massive boundaries up in terms of not wanting to get hurt again. And when you are connecting with people, it's like not showing, not wanting to show your heart again is what I'm hearing. So Spirit is saying this is also because you are still healing, you're still going through and processing a lot of the hurts that people have caused you. And even like, I'm even hearing friends, family, because I'm sensing that some of these people like you still have to see and they're still in your life. So these could have, it's like people that have hurt you, but you've still had to have them in your life. So you've kind of had to put up this barrier to show that you can't hurt me anymore is what I'm getting. So yeah. It's almost like the way that it's like you're so beautiful, and like the way that you look, that I feel that you have been taken advantage of in your time. And it's like this whole thing now where you are trying to, it's like you're trying to balance these energies of like who you truly are inside, because it's like wanting to fully be seen and be vulnerable and have like this loving connection and be loved. But there's also this flip side of like, I don't want to get hurt, and I'm not going to put myself through this again is what I'm getting. So I feel like as a part of your journey, you're learning how to, like, this is going to be a process of you learning how to kind of like knit the two, where it's just like you've had to be so strong with everything that has gone on in your life, where it's like deep in your heart you have the most amazing, beautiful, like you're such a healer, and you're like, your heart just radiates this immense love towards people. And so it's just like a part of, I know it's really like crap, but it's like a part of your journey here has been about you, because you are a healer and because you have this light. You've had a lot of relationships in your life, connections, friends, a lot of where they took advantage of this. And so now it's kind of like when you, yeah, like I don't want to repeat myself, but it's like, as I was saying, like when you have these, when you do come into connection with someone, you do have like this barrier up of protection around you, because you, like I said, you're not going to go through this again, is what I'm getting. I'm also sensing that you have a there's a very strong bloodline, and the journey that you are going is that there's you're carrying along this genetic, like this gene, this genetic trait that a lot of, okay, know I'm reading for, male, female, however you identify, but okay, we'll just say that I'm sensing that I am sensing more the females in your family, but again, just take it as resonates, because it's gender neutral as well. But I am sensing that there is a trait that you've carried on from generations where this has been repeated, because you have very strong bloodline and very, very strong, like I said, I'm getting women, but there's this whole thing too about being taken advantage of, and a lot of your spiritual powers, and a lot of you can have a really strong connection to the witch's bloodline, is what I'm getting as well with this group. Even if you don't know it, there's something very, very, very magical, and like some, I can't swear, but like in some, and I'm sensing like you have huge, when I say magical, it's not, it's like some deep rooted magic in your blood. So whether you are practicing, whether you know this or not, this is, I'm getting this very, very strongly in your bloodline, and within you. You're very, very powerful, and a lot of people have sensed your power, and that's why you've come across these. Okay, there's a few things why you've come across these type of connections, because of people sensing this power and wanting to dim you down, which is a part of, like I said, your karmic lessons that you've been going through a lot of your life. And there's this there's this whole thing too with people sensing this within you, and I feel a lot of people wanted to suppress this in connections with you. So it's kind of like, I'm just getting like Spirit is saying to me, there's this whole thing, like I said, with your boundaries and your, which I fully understand about protecting yourself, but there's also, Spirit is saying that do not hide, or do not dim yourself, or because your heart, you might think that it is a weakness, but your heart is like is like your strength, and showing that it's not, it's not, you're not just going to be vulnerable again, because in showing your power and showing who you fully are, and your whole entire being is going to give you so much more power within yourself, is what I'm getting. So I hope that made sense. But it's like, yeah, you're strong and you kind of have this front, but then I can see what's within you, and by shining that light and showing your vulnerability, showing your heart, like you know, and you're going to learn, and it's like having the connections and knowing like who you can share things with and who you can trust. But also it's like not in hiding a part of you, you also can be dimming yourself down, which is, this is a part of the magic and a part of that depth to you, because yeah, you've got like that, I can see your both sides of your dark and your light, because you've had to really walk in the dark, because you've had like a lot of lessons I can see, but also shining your light with that dark is going to be even more immensely powerful. Yeah, I hope that's made sense. Like, if this is something you want to go deeper with, like, check out my Patreon, because I can only explain so much on here, but hopefully that has made sense. But if you want to learn more, like, okay, let's look into your seductive. Also, okay, so what I'm being told with your ancient seductive ways is your heart and your love and your affection is like I said, that's the magic key to your healing abilities. And I can see that you have shut it off. Okay, I'm really hoping. I'm hoping this like focuses, because I never know. Definitely, you definitely are. I mean, like, look at this picture. It's like you definitely are an ancient tantric. It's like it runs in your bloodline, and how she has this, you know, like with the time, it's like I'm hearing time is of the essence. You are a healer, and I know that you're healing yourself too, but a part of your ancient seductive abilities through this art form is through the power of your love and opening your heart up again, is what I'm getting. There you have a gift also with like healing through your hands, is what I'm being told. And it's almost like I feel your body. You hold a lot in your body too, energetically, because you speak through your body, through body language as well. But you're also holding, because you absorb a lot of things through your body. So if you are intimate with someone, or even if you are in connection, or you have had some type of say if you were like a makeup artist or a beautician or a masseuse or some, you know, anything, or you had some, even just like in some type of exchange of energy with someone, you actually hold a lot of energy, and you take on a lot from other people as well. So there's a thing here too about clearing yourself. Clearing your energy is really important for you, because I'm feeling like you have so much, there's so much potential here within your healing in this tantrika seductive, like these ancient powers that you hold from your bloodline, but it's like, in order for you to fully be owning this and fully be, not even just the sense of like if you had to use it for it, it's just like a gift that you hold, because you can be using this for yourself as well. But there's this whole thing that I'm getting, that there's so much, in order for you to open up, it's like clearing a lot from your body energetically, because I can feel that you're like going through something at the moment, or you've taken on a lot, and it just needs to be kind of like this huge like cleansing or purging of a lot of things from the past, a lot of like other people's stuff I'm picking up on as well, in order for you to kind of like free yourself. I feel like you're just bound to by a lot of like different connections, a lot of people rely on you as well. So that's the other cards. A lot of people rely on you is what I'm getting too. Let's see. There's also something, you could be I'm also feeling like movement, so you could really, I'm kind of really feeling like dance movement or music is what really is like your vibe, and can also clear your body. A lot of movement, slow movement to music will help to clear you as well, and help you to get more in touch with your like your sexuality, your seductive qualities, and just like, yeah, being more in touch with yourself is what I'm getting. I'm feeling like that this is more important because it's kind of like this is the stage that you're in terms of like wanting, yeah, needing to, like, having to clear yourself of like all these other energies that I'm picking up on. Okay, I'm like, I just feel like it's just like your energy feels like I'm trying to, it's like trying to get into your energy, where I'm just like, I'm really just feeling there's so much. Maybe you're also feeling a lot of anxiety, a lot of like, what am I doing next? Kind of like, what is the next? There's a lot of things here around your career coming through too. A lot of like, am I on the right path? Am I doing the right thing? And I feel that this is just coming through because I'm getting this whole thing about you are holding on to a lot of other people's emotions, and a lot of their ties are tied in with your body. And you feel a lot, like I was saying, your body is like your tool. It's like your power. So your body and your heart is like your superpower here. And I'm just like, there's this whole thing about you needing to connect back to your body and like be back present and like calling your power back, because I'm just like feeling that like there's a lot of scattered energy in terms of like where you're, I feel like a lot of connections, like your energy is so with like all these other people, they're like, and you probably feel quite drained too. And that's why I feel like there's kind of this like, maybe a little bit you're feeling like a lack of direction is what I'm getting. So yeah, Spirit is saying it's really important for you to clear yourself is what I'm getting for sure. You definitely are a healer, and you definitely have a connection not only to the ancient, like your ancient ancestors, I feel speak to you a lot, especially in your dreams. You also have a connection to the angelic realm is what I'm being told as well. You actually travel, even if you, I'm just going to say everything that comes through. You actually travel when you're sleeping. You travel to different existences, and especially to your ancestors, where you are learning a lot, and everything is connected around your body. Because it's like, I just really feel that strongly that you're really being guided to clear your body. You might have thought like things like, why were things not turning out for you? Or like you kind of just like felt like maybe you felt like you've had a stream of bad luck or something like this. But all I'm just sensing is that there's just all this energy connected to you where you could really just be clearing yourself and like healing yourself. There's so much like healing for you to be kind of like is coming through for you in this reading. And the reason why, Justice, the reason why you're, hopefully this is focused, and the reason why people are still attached to you is because you're a healer. And if you can have connected with someone physically especially, and you haven't, and I feel they are still connected to you is what I'm getting, and that's why you could feel a lot of like this anxiety and emotions, and they're not actually yours. You're attached to someone else, and then you're picking up on these type of energies, and that's why I feel like you've had some you haven't had the clarity, because you're just like energetically, either these people are draining you, or they're energetically like you're feeling their energy, and that's why you're like, why don't I feel clear about things? So yeah, like salt baths, some meditation, some singing bowls, like, you know, you can all find that. Or like come over to my Patreon, where I do have a journey as well to take you deeper into this for like healing. Great, so I'm going to take this on my Patreon now to go a lot deeper, even though this reading was really long. Yeah, so if you'd like to learn a bit more about this, and you're feeling like called to, yeah, this, I can't even talk now, click down in the comments if you're feeling this is something like, yeah, just go have a look and see if it like calls to you. And yeah, thank you so much for being here, and please like this video, leave a comment if you would like to, and I will see you on Patreon or in my next reading. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe as well if you haven't, and I'll see you in the next reading. See ya. Hey, what's up, pile 2, and welcome to your reading. And then, so first, like, I just want to pick up on general energy that I'm feeling around you before we go deeper, and then I will have the extended as well on my Patreon too. So let's have a look at your picture. So first I'm getting about the way that you adorn your body. So there's something that you do in terms of, it could be jewelry, rings, body piercing, some of you tattoos, not all of you, but something in the adornment of how you like to worship and like love your own body is what I'm getting. So it's really, this is very important to you and very sacred to you, and this is this is what I feel is coming through, is that you, in the way that you express your sensuality, your healing, seductive abilities, and like these gifts and this power that you have, you know that it's very connected to your own love of yourself. So I feel that you're very yeah, I'm just getting in the way that you appreciate your beauty and yourself, and this is what you're so very connected to, is what I'm sensing with this group, and the connection to, you know, that in the way you feel about yourself is then an expression of how you are also viewed in the world, is what I'm getting. And I feel this is kind of being the journey that you've been on, and that you're trying to, or you are, you know, this is a general reading, so we could be in different stages, but this is the journey where you are really learning that your own beauty and your own, yeah, it's like your inner beauty is then also a reflection of yourself. But I'm getting this thing too where you're paying more attention to, yeah, I'm just getting like adornment, and I feel this comes because adornment is a very ancient practice, because yeah, like if you know the history of like body jewelry and adornment and like the piercings and just jewels and crowns, it's very, it goes back a very long way in terms of respect for oneself, but also the adornment and showing, it's like creating magic in yourself as well, creating magic through these elements. So especially if you're using different like crystals or jewelry, like different metals, it's actually like using this as alchemy, because you can imprint, which you probably are doing, imprint things into your jewelry, which is then also an expression of you. But I'm hearing that your jewelry or something that you wear or something that there's something that you do that you're putting on your body is just what I'm getting. Yes, like earrings, even just things in your hair that you're wearing. It's like anything that this is. It's like you're putting something on yourself to enhance your beauty is what I'm getting. And this comes from many of your past lives, and it's like even if you don't, like, this is very ancient is what I'm getting. Your energy is like a lot clearer, like the last. I won't say anything in case you haven't listened to the last group, but that one was I won't say anything. Your energy is very, I feel like you're very, very free flowing in your energy and very nurturing, very caring, and like the way that your gifts and this seductive power, this tantrika power comes through is you're actually, I'm being told, you're using ancient practices. So the one that I've just mentioned is one that you've been using. Another one that you use is, I'm getting something around touch as well. I'm hearing like I am hearing massage, and there's something with your hands or your touch that's very, I'm hearing magical. You have a very special touch to people. So even if you were to touch someone on the shoulder or to give someone a hug, you have this ability where you make people feel really safe, because it's like you don't judge people. I feel I'm getting quite an open energy, and it's like one where people feel quite safe is what I'm getting about you. I feel there's something here about you just really, there's something that you've done recently where you're really starting to, like, I feel like there's something around, like, your beauty's really standing out to me. I feel like you've done something recently to whether this has been you really working on yourself internally, working on with different frequencies, working on element. There's something here where you're doing some type of practice to enhance your beauty qualities from the inside out, and I really feel this is showing. You may have got a lot of compliments as well on your looks recently, but we all know this is all to do with an internal like shift in frequency. Well, that's what I believe. There's something where you're just really showing yourself more and really just being more comfortable in your own skin is what I'm getting. It's just like you're glowing, and people have been noticing this. You may be getting a lot of compliments, but I feel like your looks have changed as well. Okay, I'm just going to say everything that comes through. There's something here too about, maybe you do like to wear a lot of dark clothing too, because you like to play up on, this is just with some people, you like to play up more on maybe like your natural beauty and maybe colors in your makeup. If you don't wear makeup, something about your hair, or maybe something where it's like you're just standing out, and then like you like kind of darker clothes, but you stand out as like your face or something is more of like the what would you call, like more of the what someone would notice first. Like they wouldn't be like, oh wow, that's like a really pretty yellow dress or something. They'd be like, well, that person's like knockout, because they see like you, and then you just have like kind of simple like clothing. Anyway, that's just what I'm getting for some people. There's also a thing coming through about, I feel like maybe there's been like a shift in you where you're really like starting to open up more and starting to soften up more. Or this is like your energy. But because you have this really healing a lot of people want you, and you know that you get a lot of attention. And maybe this is too why you wear like darker clothing, or there's something coming through about the color. This black, this like how she's wearing the black like jumper or something in this like picture. I feel that you need to be, or you are having some type of protection up around you. So you could already be doing this, but I'm sensing that either you've been working with putting up something where people can't get into your energy, where this is like black candles or your own craft, however you're doing this. I'm sensing, because your light is so bright, that you've put up something, or that you are very protected. I'm getting with this like this black, this color coming through. It's because you're so like radiant, and I feel like you're kind of in a good place where you're learning about like this boundary and who you're letting in, is what I'm getting. Because you know that in the past some people have come through to take your energy. So I feel you're very aware of this, and you're very, very protected. I feel you're just more like this loving on yourself at the moment, which is amazing. Yeah, I'm just, I never hear these things, but I'm also getting like you're even just like getting around your lips, and even just like if you're even just like you kissing someone is very, very healing towards people. Just in your kiss. I'm also hearing around your voice and the tone. You have such like a soothing, like you just soothe people's souls. So you might have like something about your voice could be really sweet, or people say you're sweet is what I'm getting, but I know, but it's like you're sweet on the outside, but you're like it's like I know, it's like I know you don't show everyone everything. And I'm just going to put this in that part. You know that you're being very particular with your energy, because you know that you have a healing quality to you. And when you connect with certain people, whether it's intimate or whoever they are, that you know that you have to be quite careful with your energy, because you get quite depleted quickly, is what I'm getting. You've been on this whole journey where you've been more in the energy of spending time on your own, and it's like you found your light again. And that was like because you connected back to yourself, and you started doing things for yourself, and you started doing all the inner work, and you've been going through a lot of transformational energy, and just like really looking at what it is you want in your life. And that's because you have been spending more time alone, and you're more self-focused, and you're making, it's like the beauty and the work and everything you're doing, like you're doing it for like your freaking self, and you're not doing it for anyone else. So your Tantrika seductive powers, I feel like too, because there's this whole thing with your energy where you have taken on, or you've taken on, oh my gosh, I don't know why I'm stuttering. You've taken on a lot of energy. I don't know why that's really hard for me to say. You've taken on a shitload of stuff from people, and you've carried a lot of other people's burdens in the past, and that's why you know that your own happiness is going to come from yourself, and you have this healing ability, and you have these this gift where when you do, like I said, you can, even subconsciously or not, you know that you take on people's stuff, and that's like by being alone, you're learning how to kind of I think this is one of your part of your soul's journey. It's because you're empathic and you feel a lot too. So even if you aren't around people, you feel things on like a whole like global scale, even if you weren't with anyone. So it can get quite draining for you as well, is what I'm getting. Where I feel in terms of your seductive kind of, I feel like you're using your seductive and your healing abilities more for your own connection to your ancient wisdom, is what I'm getting. And this whole like the Tantrika and this ancient practice of like, you know, it's not like that your sexual energy is cultivated and created from yourself, because it's about, and it's from mind, you know, mind, body, spirit, and this is all too around your own well-being and your own creativity and your own life force. So I feel like you're learning this, that you can be in this and using this energy in a different way. And it doesn't mean, and that's like you not giving it to, it's like you being selective now of who you choose to give this energy to, because I feel like this is the time that you've spent on your own in this kind of journey that you are on, is that you're wanting to be more in a state of your own emotional fulfillment and your own happiness, is what I'm getting. Like, I feel like you've gone through, or you will be going through, a huge transformation in regards to this. And this is all because this will be leading you to a person, if you're single. This is just, I'm going to just say everything that comes through, because this is leading you to a person that is going to be understanding of your needs, understanding of your emotional needs, and having like a real soul connection to you, is what I'm getting. And if you aren't, and if you're already in connection, then just like I'm getting a deeper connection with that person, if you are with a person, and more of like your own emotional fulfillment from yourself. Because I feel like in the past, or I mean, everyone's going to be in different stages, but this is like the journey. I feel like it's like you've kind of got to go through this stage of being alone to transform this energy, and know that to learn more about your own energy and how you are utilizing it and how you are expending it and how you are taking on other people's stuff. This is your journey, and then it's kind of like you're going to transform this energy when you finally come to this emotional fulfillment. Then you're going to transform this energy into something that is very, very powerful, because this is your I'm hearing that when you learn how to cultivate, when you learn how to manage this energy and this influx and outflux, you know, like the inward outward flow of this energy and people's energy and your own energy, it's kind of like then because maybe you felt, and if I said this, that it was like a hindrance, or you maybe felt like, why am I feel so many things, or I feel so emotional, but it's not. It's like a gift. It's just that you needed to learn how to like manage it, and this is going to be your journey. And then it's like you're going to transform, and then we have like, you know, like the strength here, where you're going to transform this energy into what it is, like the person that you're meant to be and what you're meant to be doing in this world, is what I'm getting. So you have a very, you know that you shine really brightly, and that's why I feel you've had to withdraw, because that was the only way that you're kind of going to be learning about energy, is what I'm getting. And I feel like that's why you've had kind of like this something in your looks where you've really like changed there's something about you that's so like you're just glowing. And I bet you people have said that to me. Well, actually they have, but no, I said that to you. That's funny. So again, you're like, yeah, because I feel like you also had this angelic essence to you, where you are very protected by the angels too, especially with this and the picture. It's like I think it's like an aqua aura, or aqua aura light, or aqua aura, I don't know, something like that is the name of the crystal. But and especially you have this gold, it's like you're finding, it's like you're knowing you're the queen or the king, or however you identify, like you're finding your royalness again. And I feel that you're very protected. Yeah, you're going through something where you're being very protected from people and your energy, because you need to, like I said, I don't want to repeat myself, but you're transforming into this new person. There's a lot of gold, like a lot of royalty here too. It's like you're finding your strength again, because you have these healing tantrika gifts, but they have been like I said, like you're needing to learn how to use it in the way that suits you, so you're not being drained and you're around the right people. But this is kind of the stage that you're on in terms of, like, yeah, I really feel you're learning about energetics. So if you want to go deeper, I'm going to talk about this a bit more if you're interested, and I'm going to be using my Sexual Magic tarot cards on my Patreon, and we're going to discuss this a bit deeper. So if you like this video, please give this video a thumbs up. It does really help my content. Don't forget to subscribe, leave me a comment if you would like to, and yeah, if you'd like to, click on the link below. You can join me on my Patreon. But thank you so much for letting me read your energy, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video or on Patreon. See ya. Hey, what's up, pile 3, and welcome to your reading. So today we're going to be asking the question, what is the question? Are you a seductive tantrika? And we're going to tap into your ancient seductive powers. Anything else that wants to come through, I'm just going to leave this really open for what wants to come through for you. So I just want to pick up on your energy and what I'm getting from your picture, and just and then we'll go a lot deeper, and then I will have the extended on my Patreon, which will be down in the comments, where I'll take this reading even deeper. And yeah, I'll just be using like my Sexual Magic tarot cards over there as well. Okay, I'm getting something about 3s. So you could have 3 specific guides that you know, or there's something about the number 3, or you could be seeing 333, 33. There's also like Ascended Masters. You're very, coming through, but it's going to mean different things to different people, is what I'm getting. You're very, very connected to, I feel like your ancestors are really coming through for you. There's something here that I'm hearing that perhaps you feel that you haven't been, I feel like you're maybe being a bit hard on yourself lately, and you're feeling like I'm hearing like I could have done better, or I should be doing better, and your ancestors are coming through to say that they're so very proud of you, and I feel like they stand with you. I feel like maybe some of you could have like different ancestors, because I'm getting or you might have like mixed like a mixed culture, or you connect to, or you know that you have different guides, or something here where there's different cultures coming through. And you flow, it's really beautiful. And like your seductive quality is like your energy flows so beautifully, like you know how to, you have used this to manipulate people, I hear, but it's also meant to be used in a way that is enveloping, is that a word? Like I hope that's a word, but it's like, I'm just seeing like this energy coming around a person where you wrap them up in this energy and you make them feel very safe and nurtured, but you're also, there's something here very connected to, you're able to move energy is what I'm getting. So this comes through from your guides is what I'm being told. You might also look, you might have something where you look really young, or you have there's something in your soul that you're just like young. Like I feel like you're real playful and lively, and this is also part of your Tantrika powers, is like the ability to invalidate. Oh, I really hope that's a word. I'm just like seeing it in my mind's eye. The ability to wrap someone up in this beautiful energy, and you can actually change their energy with yours. It's like if they're in a different flow, you can bring in this energy and make them flow in more of like this your I'm just getting like a rhythm of your energy is what I'm getting. Let's have a look at your picture. But you come across as well that I'm hearing like I'm hearing precious gem. I'm also getting like a spirit is telling me there's some type of connection to birds as well. So you could have a spirit animal that is and that's because you flow in this graceful energy. Because I don't even just like, yeah, you're sexy, but it's like, it's so much more to that, because it's the way that your energy flows, and you make people flow in this state with you is what I'm getting. And I'm also hearing that you hold, okay, this will be for some people, it depends. So I'm also hearing you hold a lot of power in your hips as well. Also, yeah, I'm also hearing you can be quite dangerous too in your seductive qualities. But that's because you know how to flow into. You can flow in this like beautiful, or they're both beautiful in this graceful energy, but it's like you could easily take this energy too into like a more how do I want to say, it's not even like dark, but when I say dark, it's like more of the shadow kind of like exploring more of the mysteries of like the feminine or the underworld, or the places of discovery and the places where you're not afraid to go. So I hope that makes sense. If you want to learn more about this, then check out my Patreon. So you're able to flow in both worlds. I'm also hearing that you probably had to grow up quite fast is what I'm getting. And a lot of people, I feel like you have a lot of responsibility is what Spirit is telling me, that you have you've kind of, I feel like there's a lot of people that you have to look after, maybe younger than you, or you have siblings, or you have your own children. It's something here where you have a lot of responsibility, and even when you're younger you had to grow up really quickly. There's something here about just wanting to be freer in your expression, and just like, because I feel like you have so much responsibility that you sometimes wish that you could, I'm hearing turn back time, but I'm also hearing, it's almost like I feel you want to be someone else, what I'm being told. Because maybe the life that you feel you're living is like one of either, something in your life, so it will be different for everyone, or you're working really hard, or you're just like these burdens you feel like you carry, or you have to look after these people, or people really always look up to you, and it's like you just want to be cut loose from that, you just want to be free. And that's why I feel like in this seductive kind of these powers you have, that's why you're like not afraid to go and to play in these different, I say play, but it means like experience these kind of different realities in these different realms, and you're more open to exploring these parts of yourself, because I feel like you have to be so like regiment, or so like, yeah, like yeah, just always like looking out for everyone. That's what I'm getting. I feel like you don't have a lot of like, I feel like you don't have a lot of playtime. That's what I'm hearing. For some of you too, I'm getting a lot of spirit animals with this group. So for some too, I'm getting like maybe the bear or like wolf is something where, yeah, that makes sense, because it's like you have, when it like, if you know this one, I feel like one of your spirit, like you have two main spirit guides too, and it's something around threes, like you kind of think around you and threes, but there's like this, it's like you flying in this kind of with these birds and having this out of you, because that's like your other side, and then you have these either like bear or wolf, they're very grounded, like this fur coat she kind of has on. So I'm getting like reference to some type of like where you'll be, it's like more of a grounded, yeah, because you flow. You're very, yeah, it's very shamanic is what I'm getting. Like medicine woman. It's very embedded within you. And your tantric powers is like, you've been doing this for many lifetimes. You heal. It's just even in your presence is how you heal. You're very, as I drop all the cards, you're very powerful. And let's see. I feel that even when you were younger as well, you knew you probably felt like an outcast, or you knew you always, it's like you were born a healer. And I feel like maybe also it's something around like what happened, yeah, something around like your childhood, and you always had to heal everyone else. So we have the Magician here. I'm also hearing though that you're very creative and passionate about a lot of things. You're very protected and protective though as well of these like people that you're looking after. I feel like maybe a lot of people, yeah, it's like this thing like maybe a lot of people look up to you as well is what I'm getting. It's like your energy has like a boldness to it as well, like this, but you also have like this softer side, which you also, I feel like you don't show a lot of people that side to you. That kind of comes out for like certain people is what I'm getting. There's something I'm just getting about maybe there's just something I'm getting about maybe you want your life to be different is what I keep getting. Maybe you just kind of feel that your life was meant to go in a different way. And I'm also just like sort of just telling me that you have the ability, you know, the Magician here, you have the ability, you do have the ability, because you're very powerful, to change the outcome of your life is what I'm getting. Also seeing the number 4. Something about stability and like, and maybe just this path that you're on, you have to, it's like you have to be on this path because you have other responsibilities or something like this. So there's also something coming through about you are the master of your own reality, and I feel like you actually have a lot of options that maybe you feel like you don't. Yeah, it's almost like you're being offered this, but You really need, yeah, there's something about a mindset and knowing that you're actually very capable, like you're capable, you know. There's something around like you are the manifest of your own life is what I'm getting. Okay. And part of your Tantrika power is that I'm getting in your seductive, like ancient power. You might be very connected to, like for some of you, like sirens or mermaids could be significant. But it's almost like the capacity of the energy you can hold is very, very vast because you have this, like I said, this medicine woman. There's something around like your medicine comes through. Some of you might really work with spirit animals, but there's something here about you have a, I'm just hearing something about like some type of medicine wheel. There's something that you could be tapping into more for some of you that haven't tapped into this yet. But there's something very significant about some, like you used to do this craft, you have this craft that you've done in like many, many lives where you're able to create anything you want. And you also have the gift of like when you heal people, when you connect with people, you transmute it through the space. So you're not actually, so some of you might not have learned this yet, but this is like you can transform this energy through some other type of means, if that makes sense, and not through your own body or emotional sense. It's like there's some type of medicine that you can transmute this energy through. You have the ability, I'm just hearing too, you can be someone's worst nightmare, or you could be someone's like effing dream. I don't want to swear. Like you've been doing this for many, many lives, and just because you have such a strong capacity to heal, because there's something where I'm just getting so many past lives where you're bringing in through all these healing modalities where you don't actually need to transmute this. You have other means of transmuting energy. So you're able to go into a lot of these, like I was saying when I was picking up on the darker aspects of like you're like good to like explore this type of realms or the kind of underworlds, or you'll have like not happy, but like you would you find it intriguing, you find the because it is the mysteries of the unknown. Like I say, like if you want to learn more, because if you don't know what I'm talking about, then like come onto my Patreon. But this is like you will look at like you don't just look at one side of life. You look at both sides, and especially this side where I feel you're always wanting to continuously learn about different experiences, different people. But I feel like too, you trigger a lot of when you connect with partners too, you trigger a lot of their wounds to heal, and that's kind of what I was getting. Like you could be someone's sun, like the sun here, you could be the complete sunshine or the ray of light, and you lift them up because you can transmute their energy if you chose to. And like everyone's going to be in different stages, and either you'll know what I'm talking about or you just won't know what I'm talking about in this reading, then this is not for you. But like, or you could have this whole thing where you do both. When they first see you, they're because you have a strong presence and you are a healer, so you have this whole like ability, very psychic energy coming through. And that's why Spirit is coming through very strongly to say that whatever it is you're thinking about doing, like reconsider, because there's something being offered to you here and you're thinking you can't do it. But I just needed to say that again. So there's something here too where you learn this too through your connections, because I can see you've had to transform a lot of your own, transmute a lot of your own shadow. And a lot of times when you have probably had a lot of connections, karmic connections that you felt bound to as well. So that's why I feel you've kind of like, this is a part of your medicine too, but a part of like this tantrika, this like power you hold is that you either have this power to transmute it, which you would do, but you also trigger people into healing because it brings up their wounds that they need to look at. And again, like I said, that was also with you, but you also have this huge like your energetic capacity is, yeah, your energetic capacity is very, very huge, is what I was saying, in terms of like, I feel like your ability, and the more you learn and grow with this, your healing abilities is like, actually you can clear a lot of space for people, which is kind of like I was getting around that shamanic capability. I just feel so many like spirit animals, and there's like dolphins in here too in this one. Again, yeah, because I was getting like the mermaids, which is part of your, because I wanted to go deeper into this reading than just like, you know, because there's so many readings on, but I wanted to really tap into the essence, and that's what I asked for in this reading, to really tap into the people that needed to hear this, that are really interested in the deeper aspects of how this these gifts come about, when it's not just about like, oh, you're so, you know, I'm not putting anyone else's readings down or whatever, but it's just like, I wanted, my intention was to go deeper, to give you more of the essence of this healing ability. So I hope that makes sense. Anyways, okay, let me see if I pick up anything else. All right, then we'll continue this on my Patreon. So also this thing I'm getting that, because you're so strong, and powerful, that probably a lot of people try to control you, is what I'm getting as well. And again, it's coming through about your ability to heal comes through from your huge capacity of being able to hold other. There's something about acknowledging other people's emotions, and they feel comfortable. There's something in your gifts where they feel they can, you know, when you're intimate, even when you're intimate or not, but even when you're intimate, it's like they can open up to you energetically, emotion, in the sense of like an emotional connection, and they feel safe in this space because you're able to, yeah, something about you holding space in this. But also this thing too, where I feel like this is why you've always had this burden, because you were born a healer, and whether they were intimate or not, you've always had this thing where you carry a lot of burdens and a lot of people's stuff too, because you have to, yes, transmute a lot of energy, and sometimes you're just holding on to things, especially if someone is like closer to you, or it's like family or something as well, where I feel like your life has been one that's just when it's, you know, like you just felt like giving up, when it was just, because it's like energetically it's a lot to handle and a lot to process, of course, especially when you have this like huge capacity and all these gifts coming through. I can see, but there's also that thing coming through, is like not to forget about yourself, and this thing that you're thinking about, you can do it because you're like, you are the master, like you have the ability, and you're very, very capable of doing it, and something is being offered to you, and you need to look closely at it, and it's all to do with there's something psychically coming through that you've been thinking about. Great, so I'm going to take this onto Patreon. If you like this reading resonated, please give it a thumbs up. It does really help my content. Don't forget to, if you like to comment, and if you like to join me on Patreon, my link will be down in the comments. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing as well, and I'll see you in the next video or on my Patreon. See ya.